Well, hey, all nine of you. I am so glad that you guys are back. I know in the last show, a lot of people were talking about how O.J. Simpson passed away. Eek. What a terrible disparage to the planet. Wow. Since we have a small crowd in here, let me ask you what you think. Did he do it or not? To me, all the evidence pointed to he did it. I don't see how his blood, everything pointed to him. I'm going to put this picture up real quick. This is my cat, OJ, who, by the way, is not named after OJ Simpson. They're initials. OJ Simpson is the original tragedy pimp, and that is for sure. Snazzy! Girl, where you been? I have been missing you. She said he was guilty AF. He was diagnosed with cancer actually not too long ago, and it was quick. But still, he had a long life and, believe it or not, a lot of love around him. I mean, a lot. I remember after the verdict, the outpouring of love to this man, even watching almost a year of testimony. During the car chase, there were people with poster boards that said, "Even if you did it, we still love you." That's insane. What is wrong with people? I think some of it is, the celebrity culture in America. And some people just don't get it. So let's start with his death, and we're going to go backward. Again, we have a small crowd in here, so do not be afraid to grab the link and come up. Sassy Southern said, I was in Panama City after the verdict when he got thrown off the golf course. That's a good one. Where were you when the verdict was read? Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman were actually killed on my birthday. Not my original birthday, but I guess you would call it the anniversary of my birthday. And it was hitting all the news the next day. NFL player O.J. Simpson's wife. And then more came out. Let's start here, and then we will catch up.
O.J. Simpson has died at the age of 76. His family putting out this statement just moments ago. On April 10th, our father, Orenthal James Simpson, succumbed to his battle with cancer. He was surrounded by his children and grandchildren. During this time of transition, his family asks that you please respect their wishes for privacy and grace. And that was from the Simpson family. Apparently was battling cancer, Sandra. And as I think you had said that you'd seen him recently, and he had looked fairly frail in the last few months.
Yeah, prostate cancer that he was not able to overcome, obviously. And I believe it was a TMZ camera that stopped him and asked if he would enter hospice care, and to which he replied no. He's 76 years old. He began to look very frail during his cancer battle. Clearly, everything you just described about his later part of his life overshadowed his early football success. I mean, this was O.J. Simpson, Buffalo Bills, 11 seasons in the NFL.
I'm not the one that separates peas and carrots on a plate, but there's a big difference between his football career and his crimes. I mean, let's think about it. That's crazy. Of course, his crimes overshadow his football career. That's crazy. Was he an amazing football player? Yeah, absolutely he was. Do you think he was a good human being? I'm going to have to say, uh-uh. This is the dude that went on Twitter talking shit about Alex Murdaugh. Okay? That's like when Candace Wells talks shit about abusive mothers. But hey, that's the internet.
But all that professional success obviously overshadowed by his trial and controversial acquittal for the murders of his former wife, Nicole Brown, and her friend, Ron Goldman. I mean, we all have our memories going back to those days. I know you have yours. Mm-hmm. We can picture the white Bronco and the police chase. And wow, was that a time, 1995, Dana?
Indeed. Yes, I was a waitress at the time when that jury decision came down. But also, I mean, to look back before all of that happened, you know, he had a pretty incredible football career. He won the Heisman Trophy in 1968. He was playing for the University of Southern California. He set numerous records there, as I'm sure the sports fans amongst us will be able to tell me. He was inducted in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1985. And then you might not, I don't know if do you remember he was an actor?
Yeah.
Yes, and he was in, what was that movie?
I wouldn't be able to tell you that.
Naked Gun. That's the one I'm remembering.
But I know that was part of his very complicated career before all of this happened. Someone who knows a lot about that is Jim Gray, Dana. He is joining us now.
Oh, great.
Jim, I know you've gotten the news. O.J. Simpson dead at the age of 76 following his prostate cancer battle.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult to process this because such an amazing football career. Broadcasting career, and then overshadowed by the conviction of civil charges on the killing of Ron Brown and Nicole Brown Simpson. Ron Goldman. I knew OJ quite well. When I worked at CBS, OJ worked at NBC, and they would send me to his games. And he would end up giving me a ride home from the airport, ride to the game, spend several meals together. And I never saw a guy who enjoyed his public persona more than O.J. Simpson. He would show up at a place and everybody would light up. Then, of course, he was acquitted on those charges, but accused of murder. And I never spoke to him again after that time.
Oh, is that right?
Did see him at a fight one night. Yeah, I did see him at a fight one night, but our paths did not cross. But a very disturbing, complicated life.
Yeah.
O.J. Simpson had.
Tell us about his early football talents at the University of Southern California, indeed, winning the Heisman, setting numerous records.
He was a great football player, great running back. He had the single-season rushing record for a long, long time in the National Football League that was broken by Eric Dickerson. In 1984, Dickerson's record still stands to this day, 2105. But O.J. Was the first running back in the National Football League to eclipse 2,000 yards in a single season. Hasn't happened too much in the National Football League history, and he had that record. And he was a bigger-than-life figure.
I don't think anyone denies his athletic talent. Does anyone here deny his athletic talent? He was good at everything but swimming, to be quite honest. He always said if he jumped into the pool, he would sink like a rock. But yes, he has passed away. We already know the crimes that he was accused of, and was acquitted of. Instead of people, I say people, the mainstream media, and they're all over this right now. They're all over his dead donkey dick right now. But I remember this.
And again, OJ appears to be holding a gun to his head.
Well, David, the 405 is not too
And that
much
OJ
farther
is
down
saying,
the 91.
apparently in
The
his
next
cellular phone, that he
major
wants to
we'll
go
come
to his mother's
will
house.
be the Long Beach or the
That he
710
wants to
freeway.
go to his
Then after
mother's
that,
house. The cars on top of the screen heading east on that freeway are just slowing down to look and get a glimpse of one of the icons of American sports history, O.J. Simpson, on this tragic June day. In a city besieged with stories, when you think what can top one with another, another occurs. Jim Hill, OJ's friend and sportscaster, has been on the radio. The last thing Jim said was, OJ, you were a man, you are a man, be a man.
Just pull right on over. Stop right now. This thing is only going to get worse. You've been hearing, and we've been hearing here where people are coming out and they're just so distraught and they love you and they've admired you for the longest time. Please, gentlemen, pull over.
Earlier today, Robert Shapiro had arranged for OJ to turn himself in. Doctors were in attendance. They were all going to go together in a car because they were worried about suicide. When they went downstairs from a conference room in OJ's house, he was gone. Shapiro did not hear again from him. We then had a press conference later in which Shapiro announced that OJ had written seal letters to his mother, to his children, had codified the will. That means might have changed an add or two and had the will certified, and then wrote a letter to the public in which OJ said such things as, I have nothing to do with Nicole's murder. I loved her. Recently, we'd come to an understanding. For now, we're not right for each other. It was tough splitting. But then it goes on in a rambling account saying goodbye to people and saying he was pretty much at the end. It certainly reads like a suicide note.
On the phone now, we have psychiatrist Dr. Tom Linden. And Dr. Tom, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Chris.
At this point, what would you deduce psychiatrically?
Well, I can't obviously get inside O.J. Simpson's mind right now, but judging from other experiences with suicidal people, number one, he has to be taken very, very seriously. Number two, quite often people who are suicidal at that time are also potentially homicidal. And that's something that the police are very well aware of. So in such a chaotic and sometimes crazy world, everybody needs.
You want to hear something crazy? I watched every minute of this trial, well, as much as I could. My mother, who is not a football fan, really didn't even, she knew who O.J. Simpson was from the Hertz commercials, didn't believe he did it. She was more pissed at Kathy Lee Gifford for the way she was all butthurt after the outcome of the trial than anything. My mother always said she thought his son did it. And I thought, is this woman smoking crack? May she rest in peace. But she always said, I don't think he honestly did it. He's got too much money. He's got too much power. There's no way.
L.A. Other reports we're getting is that O.J. appears to be a little incoherent, and they've picked him up a little on the phone, and the voice sounds slurred. There you see LAX. In fact, you see a plane landing at LAX. And I don't know what that is.
You there?
Just let me get to my house.
Okay, we're going to do that.
I swear to you, I'll give you what.
I'll give you me. I'll give you my whole body.
Okay.
I just need to get to my house.
Okay.
I live with Nicole.
We're going to do that. Just throw the gun out the window.
I can't do that.
We're not going to bother you. We're going to let you go up there. Just throw it out the window. Please. You're scaring everybody. Toss it. Please. Too many people love you, man. Don't give it all up. Don't hurt everybody. You're going to hurt everybody.
I'm just going to leave. I'm just
No,
going to
don't.
go with Nicole. That's all I'm going to do. That's all
Hey,
I'm trying
listen.
to do.
Think about everybody
I
else,
just
all
can't
right?
do it on a freeway. I couldn't do it in a field. I want to do it at her grave. I want to do it at my house.
You're not going to do anything. Too many people love you. Your kids, your mother, your friends, AC, everybody. You got the whole world. Don't throw it away. Don't throw it away, man. Come on. OJ?
We understand that Dr. Michael Baden can hear us. How are you, Michael?
Hi, Larry. Sorry to be talking to you at this time.
Michael, you were called out to as an expert on the cause of death and type of death and how the deaths would have occurred. As he says in his own letter, and as he said to you, he never admitted killing, right?
Well, certainly not to me. He seemed to be bewildered, Larry, as to why people felt he had killed his family when he was bereaved and very upset at what had happened.
Do you think,
and he couldn't
Michael,
quite understand why suspicion was pointing to him.
All right, Michael, based on your understanding of all these things and talking with the other psychologists and psychiatrists, could we in fact have OJ being totally in an unreal world here and not accepting the fact that he may have done what he did?
Sure. He was so depressed and he's so upset that we were concerned that he could hurt himself. And right now, this is a horrible thing we're watching, which the chances of this winding up, badly are great.
Craig, Eric Spillman is right there at the intersection of Sunset and the 405. Eric, can you read us? Go ahead and tell us what you see.
The Sunset Boulevard off-ramp is open, and it appears that they think that he might get off here. The whole way going north along the 405, it is an amazing sight. Along the right-hand shoulder, people have pulled over, many of them carrying signs reading things like "Save the Juice," "Go OJ." People are literally cheering him on as he travels northbound on the 405, and we can only assume that he plans.
Let's talk about that as friends. He's going down the 405. It's on the news. People come out and they're cheering him on to get away. Yet, to this day, the media, and you know who I mean, they scream racism. There is one sign that sticks out to me the most, and it was a family with Buffalo Bills jerseys on. Now, how the hell did you go and get that get up all at once? And you stand, as you can see, if you look at your screen, on this very, very busy, not a highway, not an interstate, but a freeway. And you're standing there on the side where you could get killed by passing traffic. And you have a poster board that says, "Even if you did it, we still love you." There's no excuse. I don't care what trial was before or after or what area. I don't care. That's ridiculous.
To get off at Sunset and go towards perhaps his home.
He's moving over now, Eric, moving over to the right, which means he may take that Sunset Boulevard off-ramp. He's now moving over to the right lane.
Go.
Craig, are we approaching Sunset Boulevard now?
Yes, we are now.
Okay, we're approaching Sunset Boulevard.
There's a crowd of people who are on the bridge here watching as he approaches the Sunset Boulevard.
All right, Eric.
Looks like there's a...
Eric, it appears now as though he is getting, as I recall, there are 2 lanes on the Sunset Boulevard off-ramp. He is in one of them, and that's the lane he would be using. Looks like he's getting off there.
Okay, Hal, it looks like he is getting off at the off-ramp at Sunset.
Right. Okay.
Getting off, he's on the off-ramp now, coming up the off-ramp at Sunset. Lots of people at the overpass at Sunset, and possibly here will be a westbound turn en route to Brentwood.
That's right.
Looks like he's in the left lane now.
Yeah.
Making a left turn. The intersection's free and he's clear, and now making his left turn westbound on Sunset.
All right. He must have gone right by you, Eric.
Well, he has, and we're staying ahead of it. We're going to his mansion, believing that he's going there, but it was an amazing situation on that overpass there. There were people running around on top of there. I don't know how he's going to be able to drive through all those people. All along Sunset Boulevard, there are people stopped as well ahead of the chase. We can only assume he's going to his home on Rockingham in Brentwood.
Okay, Eric, that's exactly what had happened. He did take that Sunset Boulevard off-ramp.
Sparrow said if he was innocent, why would he have fled like that? Yeah. He had an entire costume. He said it's because he keeps it with him to go to Knott's Berry Farm. Are you kidding me? By the way, whatever you can do to support this channel, I need all the help I can get. Thumbs up, a share, a donation, whatever you can do would be absolutely amazing because YouTube is not being very kind to me lately.
As we had speculated, and now he is proceeding west on Sunset Boulevard. He just went past Woodburn and will be approaching Barrington Avenue.
And there's a red light at Barrington. There are lights on this. I don't know what he's going to do, how he's going to respond to traffic lights. He hasn't had to cope with that, but there's quite a lot of traffic lights. We're hearing the sirens behind us now. He's right behind us. We're hearing the sirens. The police have their sirens on. Both sides of the street have pedestrians.
All right,
They just passed us at Barrington.
He just went past Barrington.
Just passed us at Barrington, followed by the sheriff, their Orange County sheriff.
Anna said it was right after the police meeting of Rodney King, not quite right after, quite a few years after, of Rodney King caught on video. OJ could have claimed all sorts of fears, though unlikely he should fear police maltreatment. I think history clearly shows he was not mistreated. If you want to talk about maltreatment of a certain race, you ought to look at what happened to Reginald Denny right after the Rodney King verdict. They did nothing to the people that pulled him out of his tractor trailer, and I have to say it nicely because it's YouTube, threw bricks at his head. The law is a law, and how juries treat who's on the stand or who's sitting behind the table with their defense or prosecutor, that's how it goes. And they had this jury sequestered for 9 months, and they bust them in from all over. Suds, thank you so much for the super sticker. My goodness, Suds. Thank you so much.
Santa Ana police officers who are in pursuit.
Remember, there are people there in that mansion, and I don't think law enforcement wants any kind of siege to take place. Then again, it is possible he may have said on the phone, all I want to do is see my mother and children, and then I will surrender. So that is also a point for speculation, too.
It's hard to say what in the world is on his mind at this point.
That's right.
This is the back way that you can get to his mansion.
That's right.
Okay, we're following not only black and whites with their sirens on and their lights flashing, but again, there's about 10 private citizens on motorcycles who have joined the pursuit as well.
And we can
Very
see
close to the house now, very, very close. We're right in the neighborhood. We are right on the block where his house is.
Okay. And he is pulling in to the driveway.
Coming around.
Someone is going to the door right now, Eric.
Okay, we're pulling up. Let me tell you what I can see. We've just turned the corner. It's total chaos here. Motorcycles, black and whites, people running around.
Yeah, this is how mistreated he was. That he had a police escort to go all the way back to his mansion. And we had to hear about it for months and months and months. Suds, again, thank you for the donation to the channel. And Peggy, my goodness, girlfriend, thank you for making it rain.
Officers getting out of their cars with their batons, people running, people they're keeping our cameras away. They won't let our cameras through.
Okay, I can understand that, but we do have an aerial view, Eric.
Is that something out of this pointed out of the window there, Hal, on the passenger side?
Well, it did.
Or is that just the mirror?
It might be the mirror.
But he's right in the courtyard of his
Yeah,
estate.
and he was evidently not driving, obviously.
No.
So he would be sitting right over there, possibly on that side.
But the gates were open. He went right through. Someone came up to him and then was chased away by whoever the driver was. And two uniformed officers or uniformed men came up and pulled him away, flashing lights on both sides. And we are right here at a standoff.
As details develop here, we should be able to see quite clearly what will take place.
I doubt that he will be leaving again. The police now know where he is. We have found him. The door is opening, and let's see what happens now. We'll watch with you. This is the driver's side of the vehicle.
Okay, someone just got out of the vehicle, approaching the front door. At this point, I from the information that I've gathered up to this point, it appears that someone
came
just
back.
approached back to the vehicle and entered the vehicle. Let's see if we can't get around this tree here.
Maybe you can come back the other way so we can.
Okay, that is the man that got out of the car. That presumably is Al Cowlings. Now, Al Cowlings, we believe that to be Al Cowlings, holding his hand up, his palm up, perhaps toward the police officers behind him, pointing toward the front door to O.J. Simpson's home, obviously having a conversation with someone inside at this point.
Okay, here's I believe a man is pleading to negotiate with people here, the police obviously, and it's obviously very stressful down there from these pictures, as you can see. A very delicate situation taking place as we watch here.
It appears, from what we're hearing on the scanners, they are trying to put a phone call, perhaps, from OJ through to his mother. They're trying to arrange that right now.
It's going to be getting dark pretty soon. The sun sets, I believe, around 8:04 today. It's 8:20 now, so the sun, well, it's 8:18 I have, so the sun set about 14 minutes ago.
We have with us over here John Duncan with the LAPD Public Information Office. Can you tell us what's going on over there? Is there a negotiation taking place?
We're not going to discuss what's taking place here at this time. We'll get back with you in a little bit. You're just going to have to bear with us. It's a real sensitive point in this thing. Okay.
Well, there's clearly negotiation going on, regardless of what he said or not. They're not just sitting there looking at each other. I can guarantee you that.
The instant that the authorities believe this coverage is detrimental, then we will stop this coverage. Okay, Al Cowling's being used up to this point as a verbal intermediary, and now apparently.
What a joke! He's going down the 405. They say he's got a pew-pew in his hand. They're like, we need to get a psychiatrist on the phone. His son opens the door like, hey, Dad, what's up? And again, Peggy, thank you so much for the gifted memberships. But this is what really sparked it before the murders.
Somebody over here. Okay, what is he doing there? He just drove up again. He just drove up over. Okay, wait a minute. What kind of car is he in? He's in a white Bronco. But first of all, he broke the back door down to get in. Okay, wait a minute. What's your name?
He's in a white Bronco, and he broke the back door to get in. Now, old girl isn't just making this up. Sorry, she's not. She had the beatings to prove it. Her and OJ were not in on this together to get some media for him. But these phone calls scared the shit out of me.
Drove up again. He just drove up over. Okay, wait a minute. What kind of car is he in? He's in a white Bronco. But first of all, he broke the back door down to get in. Okay, wait a minute. What's your name? Nicole Simpson. Okay, is he the sportscaster or whatever? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Wait a minute. We're sending the police. What is he doing? Is he threatening you?
The dispatcher said, is he the sportscaster or whatever? She goes, yeah. You can tell she's scared. She's crying. She's not like, oh no, he played for the Buffalo Bills. He's a Heisman Trophy winner from USC. She wasn't going through all that. Yeah, come on, get someone out here. He's going crazy again, is what she's saying.
Broke the back door down to get in. Okay, wait a minute. What's your name? Nicole Simpson. Okay, is he the sportscaster or whatever? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Wait a minute. We're sending the police. What is he doing? Is he threatening you? I'm going nuts. Okay, has he threatened you in any way, or is he just harassing you? You're going to hear him in a minute. He's about to come in again. Okay, just stay on the line. I don't want to stay on the line. He's going to beat the shit. Wait a minute. Wait, just stay on the line so we can know what's going on until the police get there, okay? Okay, Nicole? Uh-huh. Just a moment. Does he have any weapons? I don't know. Okay. He went home, now he's back. My kids are upstairs sleeping, and I don't want anything to happen. Okay. Has he hit you today or no? No. Okay, you don't need any paramedics or anything? Okay. You just want him to leave? My door. He broke the whole back door in. And then he left and he came back? And he came and he practically knocked my upstairs door down, but he pounded it, and then he screamed and hollered, and I tried to get him out of the bedroom because the kids were sleeping in there. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then he wanted somebody's phone number, and I gave him my phone book and clicked my phone book down to write down the phone number that he wanted, and then he took my phone book with all my stuff in it.
The dispatch.
What? What does he say? Units, your domestic violence at 30 Cricket 325 South Griffin Greenway is too high. The suspect is now entered in the jail and it is refusing to leave. Go too high. It's been 4221 RD 825 children. line, okay? And see if
Yeah, he sounds real happy there, doesn't he? Now, what would make you break down someone's door and they're on the phone with the police saying he's back? I think you know his record. He's O.J. Simpson. He's back. She's sobbing. She's crying. Hang on. Kimmy said, why is O.J. in the news today? Because he passed away. So instead of all these people wanting to have big tributes to him, I want to look at what he did as far as domestic violence and the big M word.
and then he screamed and hollered, and I tried to get him out of the bedroom because the kids are sleeping in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then he wanted somebody's phone number, and I gave him my phone book and put my phone book down to write down the phone number that he wanted, and then he took my phone book with all my stuff in it.
The dispatch.
What? What does he say? Let me look at that. Unit, your domestic violence at 30 Carpet 325 South Griffin Greenway is too high. The suspect is now entered in the jail. It is refusing the lead. Go too high. It's been 4221 RD 825 children involved. Just stay on the line, okay? Is he upset with something that you did? Oh, a long time ago. It always comes back.
In the past.
I tried and he always comes back. This is true. This is true. This is 100% true.
Unless I talk about it,
But I can
unless
hear
I
you're
get deeper,
bugged. I can hear you're bugged.
of course I am. I'm bugged to have to talk about it. You know,
Yeah.
get my blood pressure going. To have to. I don't think anybody could have gone through. I got excuse of. I got totally screwed. I got screwed. You know, I got things taken from me. I got me to an extent taken from me. My kids don't have a mother, and people want to ignore because of their, as far as I'm concerned, either ignorance, and in many cases, subconscious racism. Won't look at the facts.
OJ, can't you say one thing?
He always claimed that. He always said subconscious racism. He had a police escort to take him back to his mansion.
Taken from me. My kids don't have a mother, and people want to ignore because of their, as far as I'm concerned, either ignorance, and in many cases, subconscious racism. Won't look at the facts.
OJ, can't you say one thing? You know, I don't care whether you're black, white, or green. I really don't care. The bottom line is you got off. You're innocent.
Thank you. Yeah, that is the bottom line, but
Bottom line
that ain't
is,
the bottom line
save your
for
breath.
so many
You're
people.
innocent. You got off. What kind of racism is that? You're free.
You know what? Let me tell you
You're
something.
walking around.
Let me say something.
What's your problem here? Just be free, be
And once I
happy.
get riled, sometimes, you know, you really get pissed, and I start thinking about stuff, thinking about this and this and this and this, and
Why do you go on?
because I'm talking to you, and you got me riled up. You got me started on this subject. So if you promise that you will not ask me another question
I will
about
never
the case,
ask you again.
We won't have to talk about it anymore.
Just did you do it?
No, I didn't. Nope. Did not do it.
Yeah, he thought it was so funny. So funny. Not gonna lie. I laughed at him a few times when he went on Twitter. Hey guys, it's me, I'm back. You know, playing golf and things, you know, like that, just smirking and just basically showing off, you know, what he's gotten away with his entire life. And he had other girlfriends after Nicole's, as he said, she must have had a bad accident. He laughed one time and he said she must have fallen on that knife a few times. He said that. Not me. You know, I take these things very seriously. Hey, are there women that do some real bitchy, horrible things to men? Damn right they are, and they should be put in their place. Are men bigger than women? Are they stronger? Yeah. 100% they are. I'm going to share a personal story of mine, and I normally don't share personal stories. But in October of 2014, my ex-husband had finally gone too far with me. Over the years, he slapped me, broke my wrist, many things. But that day, he went too far. And that was the day that I had to have medical attention. He was charged with, I'm looking at it right now, ABGEN, date of offense 10/19/2014, domestic abuse, and it was a felony assault and battery, but reduced to a misdemeanor. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. One Christmas Eve, I was sleeping on the couch because I had a brisket going. And honestly, I just didn't want to be around the asshole. And he drugged me down the hallway by my hair. You know, I'm kicking and screaming, trying to get away. I was more pissed about my hair getting fallen out, you know, to be quite honest. What really pissed me off is his mother would always take up for him. Because I would call her and say, listen, you've got to do something about him. She's like, well, he works so hard and you don't know what he goes through when he goes to work. And I'm like, okay, well, so you're telling me that the way he acts, I'm doing this to him? That makes no sense to me. But that day I had to do something because I knew there was nothing else I could do. I could see my nose swelling up. I knew I was having problems seeing out of my right eye. You know, I called, for medical help. Well, they took him to jail. Let me tell you how stupid I am. This is between all of us as friends. I felt guilty. I felt extremely guilty. On Monday morning, I called into my job and I said, I can't come to work. I told my boss what was going on. His mother bailed him out, and I met him there with an attorney. That is how stupid I am. So you can be a wise woman and still do stupid things. So when I see these comments about Nicole Brown Simpson, oh, she did it for the money. She did it for this. No, she just kind of thought he would be better at some point. Kris Kardashian is a liar. She is beyond a liar. Okay? She did not care about her friend Nicole or anyone around her. She cares about money. She set up the entire sex tape between her daughter and Ray J in order to have a reality TV show. She is her daughter's pimp. So she can't sit there and play, well, I didn't know. I wish I would have paid more attention. No, you didn't care. You cared about the facade. You are your daughter's pimps. You slept with O.J. Simpson. Behind Nicole's back, she was the laughing joke of your circle. These people are not even living in Candyland. They have the facade. It is so crazy. Oh, I wish I had noticed. I wish I had noticed. Did you not notice the time between when you slept with O.J. Simpson and you had Khloe Kardashian? Did you not notice who was awarded money after the civil suit that Ron Goldman's family put on O.J. Simpson when Nicole Brown Simpson's family ignored it? One of the checks that was written out of when they sold all his possessions, one went to Khloe Kardashian. Why would you pay her? That makes zero sense to me. They're like, oh, because she's his goddaughter. You know how many people would say, oh, there's Uncle OJ. I'm going to name OJ Simpson your godfather. So out of all these godchildren, in quotes, and I don't go with the whole godfather, godmother situation. I'm weird like that. This is part of the civil suit. Now, hold on. She said that on a number of occasions to many of us. He's going to kill me and get away with it. And you did nothing? You all wrote books? became reality TV stars? And we're supposed to pat you on the back? Look, I understand we don't like to get into people's business. And you can't tell people what to do. You really can't. You can give advice until you're blue in the face. True story. So I'm going to give a little bit of credence here. I really am. Because we all have friends like this. Well, they will say, this is going on, this is going on, this is going on, this is going on. I don't know what to do. You can't fix it for anyone. But if someone says to you, he's going to kill me and get away with it, what would you do? We've all, had friends or have friends that are going through something, and you just give them what advice you have, and they do the exact opposite. I'm going to do it my way, going to do it my way, going to do it my way. And they cry, they piss, they moan, the whole 9 yards. But if someone says, he's going to kill me and get away with it, what do you do?